Hello and welcome to our live telephone town hall meeting. See somebody dialed in early. Thanks for being in on our inbound participant line. We're dialing out to 28,000 residents of the city of Moreno Valley right now. We'll be getting started in just a moment. I'll be turning it over to Mayor Yxstian Gutierrez. Thank you so much for being on. Some of you have been on this live teletown hall before. This is the city of Moreno Valley's second telephone town hall meeting. Welcome to it. I'll be repeating some information as we get your neighbors on the line. And once we get a critical size of audience up, I'll be turning it over to the mayor. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you how you can participate in this live forum. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask live in our call, please press 0 on your phone right now. We'll have some introductory comments, and you'll hear some questions and comments from your neighbors. But if you have a question you already know you'd like to ask about something that's concerning you at the city, any questions, any thoughts you'd like to share, this is your forum. So press 0 on your phone at any time with any questions you'd like to ask in this live forum. You can also press 7 if you'd like to give us your email address. We'd like to keep you better updated moving forward, so if you'd like to get the city's e-newsletter, go ahead and push 7 on your phone right now. So again, that's 0 to ask a question and 7 to give us your email address. If you're a little shy and you'd prefer not to ask your question live, that's fine. Still press 0, give us your question, and when you talk to your operator to give us the question, make sure you let them know that you'd like me to read your question over the air instead of being brought live, and I'm happy to do that for you. So we'd like to take as many questions as we can in the time that we have during this live forum. I'll be turning it over to the mayor in just a moment here, but we'd like to get questions from those folks who are out in our live audience. Again, we're dialing out to 28,000 residents in the city of Moreno Valley. And if you have a question, you're listening right now, you'd like to ask a question of the mayor about something that's concerning you in the city, go ahead and push 0 on your phone right now. We're happy to take your question live. If you prefer not to ask it live, let your operator know that, and I'm happy to read your question over the air instead of bringing you live to ask it. Now, of course, anybody who wants to ask their question live, this is your chance to get up and ask your mayor the question live, and he's here to answer your questions throughout this hour-long forum. So as much time as you can give us, as much participation as you have for us, we welcome it. We'd like you to ask as many questions as you can during this live forum. I'll repeat this just quickly one more time, and then I'll go ahead and turn it over to the mayor to get us started. Again, this is a live telephone town hall meeting. This is the city of Moreno Valley's second teletown hall, and we're here to answer your questions and concerns. So if you have a question or a thought that you'd like to share in this live forum about city matters, press 0 on your phone right now. If you prefer not to ask your question live, let your operator know, and I'll read your question over the air. For those of you in our Spanish simulcast audience, you can still submit questions. Go ahead and push 0 and submit your question, and I'll be reading those over the air as well, and we'll be answering them during this live forum. So thank you for your participation as well. And one more thing, if you'd like to give us your email address to get email updates from the city of Moreno Valley moving forward, press 7 on your phone right now. That's enough from me. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on. I'll repeat some of this participation information a little bit later in our call, but for now, let's go ahead and get it started. I'm welcoming in your mayor, Yxstian Gutierrez. Please go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Ian, and I just want to say thank you so much to all of the residents of Moreno Valley for participating in this. I just want to say welcome to the telephone town hall. I'm Mayor Yxstian Gutierrez, and I'm so happy to be joining with you all tonight. Before we get to your questions, I'm going to start off with some of the good things that are happening in our city. The city of Moreno Valley, I want to make this clear, is financially strong and has created more than 14,000 new jobs in the last 4 years. I mean, that's amazing. And we are attracting national and international companies. We are putting our residents to work in record numbers, investing in our young people, which is very important to me, and elevating the quality of life for everyone, trying to make Moreno Valley work for everyone. In fact, our city was recently ranked the 3rd most financially strong city in the entire United States of America by the Fiscal Times. Our city is thriving. We are holding this telephone town hall to give you the opportunity to ask questions about the city and share your comments and concerns. I'm going to try my best to get as many questions as I can during this call. If you have a question that you would like to ask me, just press 0, like Ian said, and an operator will assist you. Please try to be patient, though, while you're waiting to ask your question, as there are a lot of Moreno Valley residents, and I can see there's a lot already in the line. So let's go ahead and get started with the first caller. Hello? Let's see. Who's the first one?
We've got Luis coming up live first.
Okay. How you doing, Luis?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Okay, so what's your question, sir?
Yeah, I posed a question about the road infrastructure in Moreno Valley. I've been noticing lately a lot of constructions going on of the roads, and there are a lot of roads that are with several holes and patches. So I just want to get an update on what is it being done and what are the plans for the next couple months.
Well, thank you, Luis, for that question. The roads is really important, especially to our city. It's one of our top priorities. The City Council, I want to just let you know, re-implemented the Slurry Seal program, which is a $1.2 million project. So you're probably going to be seeing some more construction going on throughout the community, and that's actually going to help about 105 streets across Moreno Valley. So that's a really good thing. We had the program kind of stopped for a while. We prioritized the streets according to their condition so that we can proceed as quickly as possible. And it's just phase one. So after that, the City of Moreno Valley is going to be receiving about $4.7 million, and then also from other grants as well. So we're really wanting to improve our roads because we understand, it's a concern that many residents have. You pay your taxes and you want the city to work for you. So definitely we're working on that. Thank you so much for that question.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Luis. Our next question for you, Mayor, comes from Jeremy.
Okay. How you doing, Jeremy? What's your question?
Good afternoon, Mr. Gutierrez. Actually, I don't have really a question. I just wanted to call and be a part of this and to compliment you and the hard work of the council members you guys have been doing for Moreno Valley. Though there are a lot of folks out there that are naysayers and do have a lot of bad things to say, I can't say anything bad. On the contrary, nothing but positive. You guys are doing an awesome job, especially yourself, and creating these new programs to help out us in Moreno Valley, especially for a person like me, makes me want to stay in Moreno Valley and not leave and move to another city. So I just want to thank you and everybody else for putting in the time and the hard work doing what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeremy, for that comment and the kind words and support. Really, I believe that all of our council members care about our community. And as mayor, I really want everyone to stay in Moreno Valley and bring more people into our community and grow as a community and to make it work for everyone. So thank you again, Jeremy, for the kind words and the support. Thank you. Next question.
Sure thing. We have Daniel live next.
Good. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Right, okay.
So my question is about the homeless people who got living over off the 60 freeway. I noticed that, especially if you get towards Day Street, I know that's the more Riverside part, but there's a lot of trash over there, and they've got these tents all over there, and the people are just coming out and using the bathroom right there in public as you're driving down the freeway. And then over by, Moreno Beach Drive, there's another little gully there that they're all living in. And they're just bringing a lot of trash and stuff and throwing it all over the ground. So I'm like wondering, what are we going to sit there and do something about them?
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks, Daniel, for that question and the concern. Just to start off with the 60 freeway, the homeless encampment, I know we actually opened up a case, and we're working on that. And we've also talked to the plaza owner as well about that. I do want to find out more information about the Moreno Beach area, so if you can stay on the line and just leave your contact information and we can get more information from you, then we can try to figure out what those homeless individuals are doing there and move them along. But I do want to tell you that we have this great new program that I proposed to the City Council last night. It's called the Homeless to Work program. This is a really cool program because we're actually not only just providing temporary jobs to our homeless, but we're also beautifying the city, and then we're also providing social services to them. So it's kind of a wraparound, all-in-one type of service to them. And it's actually came about in Albuquerque from the mayor. His name was Mayor Barry from Albuquerque. And they were able to reduce their homeless population by 50% when they implemented this Homeless to Work program. From there, they replicated it to over 40 major cities, and it's just been amazing. So I'm really excited that the City Council voted to approve the program, and we're just going to be moving forward with that program and helping our homeless population, and at the same time helping to beautify our city. Thank you so much for that question, Daniel.
Appreciate your participation. Thanks so much, Daniel. We're going to bring our next live caller up. We have Pedro.
Okay. How you doing, Pedro?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Good. Okay. What's your question, sir?
Yeah, my question is regarding the taxes for the property. Because
Okay.
I bought this house, what's gonna be 11 years ago, and they told us, the taxes is gonna be low in 10 years. And I make a phone call, and the lady told me, the taxes they're gonna continue, they're not gonna go down. So I would like to know if there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay. Well, Pedro, that's a great question. The taxes, the property taxes, are actually handled through the county, which is a different jurisdiction. It's actually our county assessor. But I understand that that's a concern. Even when I bought my first home as well, I mean, in the next couple of years, all of a sudden the property taxes went up, and part of it has to do with the valuation of the home. So once the property values go up, then your property taxes can go up as well. So, but if you have any additional questions, and also I have the phone number here, so let me give you the phone number to the county assessor, and then you can ask them any more detailed questions. The phone number is the area code is 951, by the way, 955-3900. Again, it's 951-955-3900, and it's the county assessor, the county treasurer, tax collector's office, okay? Thank you so much, Pedro, for that question.
Thank you, Pedro. We'll go to our next live question right away from Thomas.
Okay. Hi, Thomas.
How you doing, Mayor?
Good. Thank you for calling in.
Hold on. There you are. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. My question is, why does the city continue to build these big, gigantic warehouses and make all these big semis to make the traffic so much worse on the 16 to 215 freeway going down into Riverside where I work, and so much against the small businesses? My wife opened an ice cream shop and in January, and the city fees were so expensive and health department fees that we ended up closing the store today after 7 months, and we lost a substantial amount of money. We closed up today in the Moreno Beach Shopping Center. Today was our last day in business.
So sorry to hear that. One of the things I just wanted to share with you, I used to own a coffee shop, a cafe called Berry Bean, and it's very difficult to run a business and and maintain the profit there. But as far as the industrial development and all of that, one of the things as a city that we're trying to do is attract more jobs and more growth and more revenue to the city. And sometimes that can come in the case of industrial. It can come in the case of healthcare, logistics, those kinds of things. And we want to bring that revenue, because with that revenue that we have, then we can help fix our roads. We can get more police officers, more firefighters, and those kinds of things. And I want to say that I really believe that we need to help the small businesses. And I'm sorry that that the business didn't work out. But we do have our Small Business Development Center, and I don't know if you were able to go to that, but they do provide the one-on-one consulting and business plan development and those kinds of things. But I do understand. I mean, it's very difficult. I had to sell my business as well, the coffee shop, because it was very, very difficult. Okay. Thank you so much for your call.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being on, Thomas. We're going to go right to our next live audience question. We'll have a question from our Spanish simulcast audience next. This one comes live from Barbara. Hey, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Mayor. How are you?
Good,
I'm still good. I'm doing fine. My concern is what I had addressed at the City Council meeting a few months ago about getting a speed bump at the corner of Woodland Way and Graham.
Okay, Woodland Way and Graham.
Graham, Graham, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, just so you know the process, and if you could stay online as well, and then we'll make sure that we have your contact information, and then I'll follow up with a call, and our staff will follow up with a call as well. But what we do with the speed bumps, we first ask that you collect signatures from that neighborhood community just to see that there's a support. Then we send out our transportation division, and we ask them to analyze the speed data there, and then go from there. And then we send also a speed hump application to your home, and then that's actually where you collect the signatures. And then we go from there. So we'll definitely follow up, and I have it written down right here, Woodland Way, Graham, and I have your name as Barbara. But if you could stay on the line and just leave your name and phone number especially, then we'll personally follow up with you on this issue. Thank you so much for letting us know and letting me know. Thank you. Next call, please.
And Barbara, one more note on that. If you want to press 7 right now and give us your contact information, there's a little bit of a wait there. You can give us some more information on that. We're happy to follow up, or you can wait till the end of the call and stay on and leave us a voicemail message at the end of the forum as well with as much detail as you'd like to share. So thank you again.
Thank you, Barbara.
Art's up live.
How you doing, Art?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Hey, great. Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's your question?
My question, well, it's kind of a question, and it's a statement at the same time. My neighbor who lives behind me, he seems to think that it's 4th of July every single weekend.
Oh.
Okay, we have all this technology available. How come nobody over there just shuts them down? How come?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He shoots off these these giant skyrockets that go up in the sky like Disneyland, and it blows up. And he does this almost every weekend. And I'm collecting, the pieces of it that fall into my yard.
That's right.
It's a fire hazard.
Definitely.
When could law enforcement or ATF or somebody do something?
Mm-hmm. Well, first, I just want to say thank you, Art, for calling in. The fireworks are just really dangerous, for a number of reasons. And also for our pets, our dogs and cats as well. I mean, it's just devastating for them. Also, individuals with PTSD as well. What I can say is that we take it very seriously. So, if you can dial and call this number, but I'll follow up too as well, 951-247-8700. And it's our police department's non-emergency number. So, again, it's our police department's non-emergency number. And just let them know that this is happening so that way they can send someone out there. But if you can press, I believe it's 7, right, Ian?
Right.
And just leave your phone number, my office will personally follow up and see if we can get some more additional help out there for you as well. Because, that must just be frustrating for you. To be living there and then the fireworks are just happening right there. So definitely we're going to get you some help. So if you could just press 7, okay, Art, and then from there just leave your phone number, and then I'll follow up on that as well, okay? Thank you so much, Art.
And Art, there's a little bit of a wait when you press 7 just because we are collecting a lot of email addresses for that e-newsletter that we'll be sending out. So just be patient. We'll get to you in just a few minutes. Thank you very much. Appreciate your participation.
Thanks, Art.
And our next live call is coming from Olvin.
Hi, how you doing, Olvin?
Hi, how are you? This is Olvin.
Okay, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for calling.
All right. Number one, you know what? I'm on my way to home, but then I'm very impressed that you're doing this kind of forum, and then it's kind of nice that you guys doing this. Then I would like to thank you for that.
Cool.
And I know not everything can be resolved. At least you can hear us and then do something about it. I moved to Moreno Valley 14 years ago, and I love living in Moreno Valley. And but last year we started, to see vandalism on the mailboxes, and I had to get in cameras on my house because I go, I don't want it to hit me, the house.
Yeah, of course.
And then I keep on hearing from random people on the neighborhood they're having the same problem. So what is this? I don't know what the city doing about that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for calling in and asking that question. It's something that's very serious, and for a lot of people, I think once they have that vandalism, it almost feels like a sense of violation, right? And so, actually, in fact, even on my street, there was vandalism as well, and it just was terrible. And I know that there's a lot of people that have been waiting long hours, in the line with the post office and things like that. Just to make it clear, though, the post office it's a separate jurisdiction, so I don't have any authority over that. But one of the things that I've been doing as mayor, and also even our individual council members as well, and the staff, we've been building a partnership with that postmaster, and basically going back to that postmaster every day and telling them, these residents need these new boxes, these new cluster boxes. And so we've been able to finally get a new postmaster there that expresses the same level of concern and has committed to the city to put more of those. Also, just so you know, if you do live in a homeowners association, it is the responsibility of the homeowners association to cover that cost. But if you don't, then it's the post office. I also want to say that we have an innovative program where we're actually putting a camera on a pilot, actually on a pole, and we're trying to see if that will deter some crime and some vandalism. So we don't want to say the location, of it or the locations, but basically we're starting this. We've already started the innovative program, and we want to see if this is going to deter, and if it's successful, then maybe we can obviously replicate it. Okay. But thank you so much for that question. It's something that a lot of residents are frustrated about. Definitely, I hear that a lot, and even I was extremely frustrated about it as well. And it's a sense of violation to our own family. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alden. And I'll take this moment to remind folks that if you would like to give us your email address so that the City of Moreno Valley can keep you updated via its e-newsletter moving forward, please press 7 on your phone. So again, press 7 right now if you'd like to give us your email address so that we can keep you updated on city matters moving forward. So 7 for emails. And our next live question comes from Judy, Mayor.
Hi, how you doing, Judy?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, my concern is a personal one, but I'm pretty sure that there may be other people in the city that may be affected the same way.
Okay.
For around the last 10 years, and I could be wrong about the number of years, but for around that long, we have been going back and forth with code enforcement about our yard. And while I never really wanted to be that house in the neighborhood, I kind of am that house in the neighborhood, the one that doesn't look as good as the rest of them. Now, the situation here is that my husband and I are both disabled and retired due to our disabilities. He was retired first, and our income has gradually gone down. So we haven't been able to do a lot with our front yard. However, the city's code enforcement keeps coming back to us, even though they're aware of this, and we have made them aware of this as often as possible. They keep coming back to us with little nitpicky things about our yard, trying to get us to do things that we neither have the physical capability nor the financial capability to hire someone to do this. And I'm wondering if there's anything that the city can do to help people like my husband and me.
Well, first, definitely, there are actually a couple things that I can think of right now. Judy, number one, we have this yard cleanup program where we recently began to link homeowners with special needs that need the assistance. If you'll send me an email, or if you just press 7 and leave me your phone number, then my office can personally follow up on this and connect you with the right help in the local group to help you with that. Also, as a city, we just recently passed through our CDBG funding. We have this new grant program where we're actually providing these grants to homeowners that are in need. So we'll make sure to get that information out to you. So again, if you could just press 7, and then in the next couple of days we'll follow up with you as well. But we have these this new grant program as well, and then also the yard cleanup program too. Thank you, Judy, for actually for reaching out and being proactive about it and wanting to receive that assistance. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next live question comes from Christy.
Okay. Hi, Christy.
Oh, good evening, Mayor. How are you?
Hey, Christy. Thanks for calling.
I actually just have a comment, if that's okay.
Sure, definitely.
Recently in our neighborhood, we experienced about a 12-hour power outage. And, it wasn't the best of the days, but it happened. And I was very impressed with Councilman David Marquez. He came around the neighborhood to let everybody know what was going on and what was to be expected. And a few days later, after everything was taken care of, he came back again and put his card on everybody's door in the neighborhood to make sure everybody was okay and to talk with them. And I just wanted to let you know how much myself, my husband, and the people in our neighborhood really appreciated that.
That's great. I mean, actually, Councilmember Marquez shared that with me as well. When there was the power outage, that he was going around in the community to let them know about it. And, he definitely is a hard worker. And I know he's been out in the community and really trying to just make the city better. So that's great. And thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Christy.
Appreciate your time, Christy. Thank you so much for being on. We've got our next live call coming from Renee.
Okay. How you doing, Renee?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, no problem. How can I help you today?
Well, okay. Back in 2004, I was told I was on a list for my street to be repaved.
Okay.
And since then, Paris Boulevard, which is my cross street, has been expanded, and traffic has increased tenfold. My street is now falling apart with chunks missing out of it and weeds growing up in between the cracks.
That's terrible.
What can I expect as far as a due date?
Okay. Well, Renee, one of the things I'll definitely ask, if you could do is just obviously just press 7. That way I can get your phone number because I don't have it here in front of me. And then what we'll do is we'll follow up with you to find out if it's on it's called our CIP plan, our repavement schedule. We just recently approved 105 new streets and allocated about $1.2 million for that. But we'll definitely find out and then get that information out to you. Also, if there's any potholes or any of those kinds of things, we'll send out our pothole crew right away within 24 hours. We usually do that. So definitely, if you could just please press 7 and then leave your phone number, and then we'll have it, and then we'll follow up with you, okay? Thank you so much, Renee, and I'm sorry to hear that since 2004 you haven't had your street repaved, okay? But thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. And we're going to go to our next question. It's going to come from our Spanish simulcast audience. We're simulcasting this entire event in Spanish. This question comes from Raul. Question is, I have 2 kids in college. What are you doing for our school kids? Are you offering more classes to get them prepared for college?
Well, thank you, Raul, for that question. Education is very, very important, especially for our young people. I see that they're our future leaders. And additionally, we want to make sure that we're offering things for them because we want them to come back to our community, right? We don't want them just to leave and not come back. So one of the things that I'm doing is partnering with Moreno Valley College and also working closely with RCOE as well, Riverside County Office of Education. But with Moreno Valley College, we're trying to make college a reality for our residents. The Promise Initiative, which is a great program, by the way, helps Moreno Valley residents attend Moreno Valley College for free for the first year. And so I want to say that as the city, we've actually partnered with the Promise Initiative through the Moreno Valley College, and we've committed to $50,000 for the first year to help college students pay for their textbooks, fees, actually not just that, also parking and other school necessities. So if you want more information about the Promise Initiative, you can actually find it at Moreno Valley College's website. And if you go to www.mvc.edu, again, it's mvc.edu, that's the college website. There's information there as well. You can also press 7 and leave your phone number, and then my office can follow up and give you some more information about that. Additionally, I want to say that we partnered with California Baptist University, and now we have a university satellite campus in the city of Moreno Valley for the first time, so this is great news. And students can take logistics, medical-related fields, actually any kind of field that they want to study online or professional studies, and it's actually housed in our Employment Resource Center, and that's actually located right across the street from Polly's Pies, so off of Eucalyptus and Frederick. So there's a lot of great things happening in our community, and we're doing a lot of things that to help our young people. Thank you so much for that question, Raul.
Appreciate you, Raul. Thank you so much for being on. Let's go to our next live audience question. This one comes from Gilbert.
How you doing, Gilbert?
Hey, Mayor. How's it going this evening?
I'm doing great. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, I don't want to take up much time. I've been in Moreno Valley now for give or take 15 years, and I spoke to you a few times before in person. And my question is, why is Moreno Valley starting to come up with a lot of vape shops, a lot of medicinal pot shops? I understand the law passed or whatnot, and it's just really bringing the city down. Not only that, I mean, the city in the last 15 years, I know it's grown much, but it's also gone down the dumps. I mean, it's really gone down, and it's a pity that we're number one in the nation, but yet our city itself has just gone down, and it's overworking our police department.
I understand your frustration, Gilbert. And yes, that state law did pass, that statewide proposition. One of the things that we are doing as a city council, we are holding a study session in the next couple weeks to study this issue some more. Also, just to let you know, our city attorney's office for some time only had one city attorney, believe it or not, for a city this large. And so we actually changed that as a city council. And so this last year we've actually given the city attorney a department, which I think is necessary. And so now with this new department that the city attorney has, he's actually been closing some of these shops down, and they're really going after them. And so I just wanted to give you that information that our code enforcement staff and our city attorney's office is now working diligently. And they just obviously they've been working on it before, but this year now with the city attorney having a staff, believe it or not, he's been working diligently on that these last few months to make sure that those shops aren't here. So thank you so much for that question, Gilbert. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Gilbert. Moving right along, we've got Kimberly live next.
Hi, how you doing, Kimberly?
Hi, I'm doing well, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your call. I'm able to speak to you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for calling. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. My question is, what are we going to do about the panhandling in the Food for Less parking lot off of Alessandro?
Well, thank you for that question. Panhandling, it's a problem, obviously, and number one, it can bring property values down, and people sometimes don't feel safe, so I totally understand that. One thing that we're doing is this program called the Homeless to Work program. That's the program that I proposed to the City Council last night. It's a really great program because we're going to be providing those temporary jobs to them, but then at the same time also beautifying our city and then providing those social services to them and making sure that they're well connected with the right resources. A lot of times, they may have issues and problems, so we want to try to get to the right problem of it. And so we're going to be using a grant, so it's not going to be costing the city any money to implement this program and provide them jobs. But in addition to that, I do want to say that they shouldn't be doing that. And if you do see that as a concern, which you do, and I've already written it down as well on the Food for Less plaza, so I will ask our staff to deploy some officers and code enforcement there to try to solve that issue. And if you could press 7 for me and leave your phone number, we'll definitely get back to you on that too. But Again, we're doing this great Homeless to Work program that just got approved by the City Council last night. I'm so excited about it. We're going to be advertising it. It's going to be really great. And in addition, if you can leave your number, we'll get back to you, okay? Thank you so much, Kimberly. Great question.
We've got Eric live next.
Good evening, Eric.
Good evening. Hi, Mayor.
Great. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just had a couple of questions. My first question is, if we know of a date as to when the Moreno Valley Ranch Golf Course is going to be reopening, and also my second question is, are they planning on having any more restaurants in and around the Moreno Beach Auto exit?
Okay. Well, thank you, Eric, for that question. I was actually, I grew up in this city my entire life. I went to Armada Elementary, Landmark Middle School, and then Valley View High School. So I used to see how that golf course was, especially during the 90s with the, with the golfing, the Nike tournament. So it was really, really amazing. And I know it's very important for the community, even for myself, to get that back up and running. What I can tell you is, and I'm really excited, is that the owner is moving forward to restore the Moreno Valley Ranch Golf Course. So we're still waiting to see with that. The plans have actually already been submitted for the city's review, and they're scheduled to go to the Planning Commission very soon. So once it goes to the Planning Commission, then from there, if it gets appealed, it'll just go to the council, the city council, for approval. As far as new restaurants, that was your second question. We've added about 20 new restaurants over the past year, and more are expected, especially in that location and throughout the community. If you go to our website, moval.org, we have an area where it says economic development, and right there we put a list of new restaurants that are about to open. So if you can't find it, you can also press 7, or you can email me. My first name is Yxstian, @moval.org, and from there, I can just easily send you the link. Okay? Thank you so much, Eric.
Appreciate your time, Eric. We're going to go to our next question. This is actually just a comment that comes from our Spanish simulcast audience, and this is from Anna, who says, I would like to thank you, Mayor, for all of your work. So that's from Anna in our Spanish simulcast audience.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anna, for those kind words.
Let's get our next live audience question up. We have Wayland next. Hey, Wayland, you're up.
Good evening, Wayland. How can I help you tonight?
Yes, I had a question about the trees in my backyard, and also, if I may squeeze one in, about the mailboxes in the HOA area.
Okay. Go ahead.
And
yeah.
I just thank you. I'm glad I voted for you. I think you're doing a good job this evening, and I really do also appreciate this opportunity.
Thanks so much, Waylon. So what's your question about the trees?
Well, I live just at let's see.
If you don't want to say your address, or you
sure,
can also
yeah.
just press
I got
7.
The pine trees are right on the city street, and they are pretty tall, and they actually drop the pine needles down onto my backyard kind of excessively. We're always raking. They're killing the grass, and also we have a couple fruit trees that they're a nuisance too. I'd called before. I was kind of disregarded, but I was trying to find out if there was anything I could do about that. And then secondly, the HOA that I live in, we have at our area, we have 6 mailboxes on a post, and the post is kind of falling over. And our HOA told us that we had to come together to pay to have it fixed. But I guess you have pretty good neighbors, but we're not all in agreement to come together and pay to fix the post and the mailboxes. And ours also have been vandalized and robbed. I do know that you can call just for anybody else out there, you can call the postal inspectors, especially if you have some information to give them to, prosecute or anything. But that's where I'm at. I can't really. My HOA says they're not responsible for it. But earlier in the conversation, you guys talked a little bit about that. Again, ours aren't a community box. There's 6 individual boxes, but it is falling over, and I'm just trying to figure out what actually who's responsible.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely. That's not good. And I just want to say thank you for your support. And so, if you push 7 and you just leave your detailed information with your address and then also your phone number, then we'll definitely get back to you. I'll personally get back to you as well. And our Public Works Department will also conduct a field check to see, about that tree and the pine trees that you have, and see, if it's in the city's right of way or if it's a public safety concern sometimes as well. We have to take that into account. And as far as with the mailboxes, if you live in an HOA, then the HOA is responsible for those mailboxes. And then if you don't live in an HOA, then it's the post office that will replace those. But I understand that there's some issues going on there with the HOA. So, again, if you just leave your name and your phone number, I would be I'm happy to try to help with problem solving and having our staff trying to work with maybe the HOA and see how we can come to some kind of agreement there because, we want you guys to be happy. So thanks again, Waylon, for calling in. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Waylon, go ahead and push 7 on your phone now, and you'll talk to an operator, and make sure you give them as much information as you're comfortable giving them, your address and the same comments that you just made, and we'll be sure to follow up. So thank you so much. I'm going to take a moment here. We have a little less than 20 minutes left in this live telephone town hall meeting. This is your last opportunity to press 7 to give us your email address. So if you'd like to get email updates from the City of Moreno Valley moving forward, please press 7 on your phone now. You won't be able to do it after the call. We've got a little less than 20 minutes left, so go ahead and push 7 on your phone now if you want to give us your email address to get updates from the City of Moreno Valley. We'd love to keep you updated with our new e-newsletter. Mayor, our next question comes from David.
Okay. Good evening, David. How can I help you tonight?
Well, thank you for holding this program. And first of all, I'd like to make a statement that I'm happy and pleased that the City Council is really focusing on jobs in Moreno Valley. I think that we talk about quality of life, but if you don't have a job, then, and you have a community with a high unemployment rate, and you have higher incidence of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, sort of the family structure is torn apart. So I appreciate that focus. Now understanding that, what is in store for us in terms of library expansion or parks expansions? Because hopefully, the more jobs we have and the more tax revenue the city has, we can invest in some of those things that help us.
Yeah, definitely. We want to improve the quality of life, and I feel that the residents want us to know that we're working for them and trying to make Moreno Valley work for them. So definitely, just so you know, this December, and I'm excited to announce, we are opening up a second library branch, and we actually selected the mall. It's going to be over by the Hometown Buffet section of where the mall is, so it'll be easy access in and out. It's going to be a really cool second branch library, kind of hipster style, really modern. And so it's part of our Momentum Mobile, our strategic plan, to expand those library services. So we're, definitely working hard in that respect. So thank you so much. Thank you, David, for that call. Really appreciate it.
We'll go right to our next live question from Elisa. Elisa, you're up.
Hi.
Good evening, Alicia.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, and yourself?
I'm good. Just a little hot. Yeah, I had a question about the jobs. I heard earlier that you talked about having all the jobs, coming out here and everything, and that's great. But I also know that most of those jobs you talked about is in the warehouse. And for me, who lived in Moreno Valley since 2008, well, actually returned back in 2008, that I would like to work in Moreno Valley as well as live in Moreno Valley. So, but I don't want to work in a warehouse.
Of course.
So, where's the other jobs that I could do, or if others can do besides working in a warehouse? Because every time I see something, there's somebody saying, "Oh yeah, we're hiring," but actually you're not hiring. I think that's just like something they put out. I don't know. So, besides the warehouse jobs?
Definitely. I just wanted to tell you that, we reach out to several economists and several experts, and many of them have told us that the two major industries that are growing, especially in the Inland Empire and in the city of Moreno Valley, is logistics and healthcare. So those are the two main areas that are really growing and really wanting to bring, jobs and revenue to the city. There's different types of jobs, that can be in the logistics industry or warehouse. There's also manufacturing, those kinds of things. And I do want to say as well, Alicia, that our healthcare industry is actually expanding as well. We have a county hospital that's going to be building several new buildings and bringing more high-paying jobs as well. And then we also have some technology companies as well that are coming in to the city. I want to let you know we have an employment resource center, and it's actually, again, it's right next to Polly's Pies, right where the Cal Baptist satellite campus is, right across the street from it. And if you go in there, there's case managers, and they can really sit down and see what your skills are and your needs, and then see, what types of jobs are out there. And one of the things I just wanted to say, it's very important that we hire locally. That's something I strongly believe in, because when you live and work in the city, you feel more a part of the city. You have that reduction in time of commuting on the freeway. Now you can spend more precious time with your kids, right? Help them with their homework and all sorts of great things. So we have this program called Hire MoVal, where we are incentivizing businesses, not just industrial businesses, but all types of businesses, to hire Moreno Valley residents, and we provide them with the utility discounts. We also have another program called Hire a Grad. So if you're a recent graduate as well, we're doing the same thing. We're actually giving $1,000 per employee for each employment there. So we're trying to do all those things. We definitely want to expand every industry, and we want everyone to feel welcome to our city. Thank you so much for that question, Alicia.
Appreciate it, Alicia. Let's go to Edith live next. Hey, Edith.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Edith?
Yes. Hi, how are you today?
I'm fabulous. Thank you so much for asking. And yourself?
I'm okay. One of my questions is that first let me make a statement. I keep hearing you say something to the fact of homelessness to work. And what I see not lately, but since I've been here for like 4 years, almost 5 years now, and I travel throughout the community. I'm disabled and retired, and I take care of my grandson who's a foster child. But what I see a lot, besides the homelessness, there's a lot. It's a really high rate of mental illness, plus drug addicted people. And I'm so friendly with them, and I always pray for them, And I kind of got used to them, and I talk with them, and they really need a lot of mental help. I'm telling you, these people are really sick. And even if they got a job, they wouldn't be able to hold them. And I was wondering, are there any programs that I can refer the people that I see out and about where they can go for just some help? Because they do have drug issues. A lot of them do over by the laundromat off of Alessandro in Paris. I mean, I know they're all over there doing heroin. I can tell. I'm looking at them, and they're sick, and they're really sick. But they say they want to work and they want to get off the street. They really need help with mental illness. How can we help with, addressing that issue? And I'll take the response later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Edith. Just wanted to mention, we have this new pocket-sized book, and I think it'd be wonderful for you as well, because you seem to be a resident that reaches out to those in need, and that's great. That's amazing. We need more people like you. This is amazing. So I just wanted to tell you that it's called our Homeless Resource Guide, and it's a pocket-sized book. So if you dial 7, we can send you several of those, and you can also help us in providing some of those resources as well. I do want to say that our police department also has a unit. It's called the Homeless Liaison Team, And we also have an officer-friendly program that we've been working with the homeless population to inform them of these services. So our police officers also have these pocket-sized books as well, and when they see someone that's homeless, they reach out to them and try to provide them the right resources. Because, some, do have, they're maybe out of a job, maybe there's bad luck, the situation, maybe at home or something like that, or, there's the mental health illness component as well that you mentioned, which is very evident. So we definitely want to get them the right resources, and that's what I really hope that this Homeless to Work program will do. It's not just providing them the jobs, but it's also providing them the social services. So they're going to have a case manager, and they will be reaching out to them and really trying to connect them with the right resources, making sure that they get those right mental health services. I mean, it's just really important. We want to get to the cause, right? We don't want to just put a Band-Aid there. We want to actually get to the cause and try to fix it. And I do want to say that our city, relative to other cities, has a smaller homeless population. I was just reading an article. Los Angeles County, in their homeless count, got 47,000 homeless in Los Angeles County. It's great, that we're not at that number, but definitely I still see, as the mayor, I still see this as an issue, and definitely we need to help those that are in need. So we do have that pocket-sized book, and then we do have this Homeless to Work program that I'm really going to be promoting, and the city's going to be promoting, because we really believe in the initiative. Thank you so much, Edith. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edith. Really a pleasure to have you on the call. Let's go right to our next caller. We have Ray.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for taking my call.
Good evening, Ray. How are you doing tonight?
I'm excellent, and you guys?
Doing great. Thank you for asking.
Good. I'll dive right into it. About a couple of years ago, and unfortunately, Mr. Mayor and council members, this was under the old regime who ran the city. They had someone come in to a town hall meeting and discuss economic development in Moreno Valley, and in particular, they were discussing what they called the Nason corridor. That runs from the freeway on Nason all the way down to Iris, and they were talking about living apartments and stuff like for doctors and nurses. They were talking about some type of other type of businesses, including food eateries, really beautifying the corridor. And then they also talked about potential of a possible downtown Moreno Valley, which we really don't have, like other cities like Upland with the history that they have and stuff like that. Is there anything that you guys are thinking about in relation to that?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. You're talking about the proposed town center. And that's actually with the Nason Corridor study, and we actually had a study session, and thank you for calling in and sharing that information. And so just wanted to say it takes several phases, and it's really interesting. When I first got into city council and then I became a mayor too, I just started noticing, wow, it just takes a lot of different phases. The design phase, then they have to go with engineering studies, they have to do all kinds of things, so it does take a very long time. The city has secured a $150,000 grant, and so that grant is actually studying it still, and so it's expected to take about another 9 months. So once we hear from there, then we'll move forward with that. But in creating any kind of town center, it does require a lot of different studies, requires a lot of investment, and those kinds of things. But I believe that, at least in my opinion, that's where I'm moving forward with that. I believe that we do need a town center, especially a little downtown area for our city. We're a city of over 206,000 residents, bigger than Pasadena, larger than Burbank, and we need to have that. So, that's part of my vision, part of the strategic plan, and we need to move forward with that. Thanks so much for that question, Ray. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ray. Let's get Frank up live next.
Hey, good evening, Frank.
Hey, good evening, Mayor.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you for calling. How can I help you tonight?
Yeah, several of the questions that have been asked have been answered, but also up on Heacock, we get a lot of street racing late in the evenings, and you can hear them dragging down Heacock. What are we doing or trying to do about that?
Okay. Well, right now I just so it's on Heacock Street Racing. I'm writing it down right here. And what we will do is what I'll definitely do is talk to our police department. But if you do observe this, at any time, go ahead and just call our police department, either our non-emergency number or you can call 911 as well. But definitely, if you can press 7 and leave me your phone number, Frank, and then my staff will follow up with you to find out when that's kind of happening, and then see if request some patrol out in that area to stop that. So thank you for bringing that matter up to my attention. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Frank. Let's go to our next live call from Luis. Luis? Okay.
Yes,
Good
hi.
evening, Luis.
I would like to thank the members of the city that had the vision to bring in the warehouses and bring the jobs in. But my concern is that my son had a job out on Harley Knox at one of the warehouses, and there's no bus lines that run out there. And then the warehouses that are on Indian, there's no bus lines in that direction either. And so I want to know, why is it that when these big warehouses are brought in, there's no bus lines that run so that people can get to the jobs? If you don't have a car,
how are you going to get there?
Yeah, and also it's not only just in Moreno Valley, but it's also out in Etiwanda, out in that area, Miraloma, the warehouses. It seems that they bring the warehouses in, but there's no bus lines that help the people to get there. And the only way to get there is you have to have a car, and everybody doesn't have a car.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely, that is a concern. And one of the things, getting people to work is very, very important. Our community has been well served by this longstanding relationship that we have with the Riverside Transit Agency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to notify them tomorrow and alert them about this, because there are a lot of employers in that area and people are trying to get to work, but if there's no mechanism for them to get there, or public transportation, how are they going to get there? And it's just causing issues there. So if you could dial 7 as well, then we'll make sure that we get your phone number, and then we will personally follow up with you as well. But definitely we're going to let RTA know as well about this request. And that's what I really like about these town halls, any town hall, regular town halls or telephone town halls, is I get to hear from the residents, the people, and I get to hear as far as what's the real need that's out there in the community, and you just expressed it. So thank you so much, Louise, for that, and I will work with RTA and get in contact with them tomorrow to alert them about this situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. And we're just about at the end of our hour-long forum, so thank you, everybody who stayed on for this one-hour forum. We really appreciate your questions. Your participation is what makes these calls successful, so thank you so much. If we didn't get your question answered, or you have any additional thoughts, questions, or comments you'd like to share, stay on the line, and we'll close out the forum in just a moment here. By staying on the phone, you'll have an opportunity to leave us a voicemail message. If you need somebody at the city to get back to you for any reason, make sure you leave your question or comment or concern in addition to your name and some contact information so that we get back to you. So again, if there's anything that you feel we didn't cover and you need some help, stay on the line as we close out the call. You'll have an opportunity to leave us a voicemail message, and make sure that if you need somebody with the city to get back to you, that you leave your contact information in addition to your thought, question, or comment that you leave in that voicemail. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor Yxstian Gutierrez for some closing thoughts as we end this telephone town hall. Go ahead, please, Mayor.
Well, thank you so much, Ian, for those comments, and I just want to thank all of the residents of the city of Moreno Valley for taking the time out of your busy, busy schedule. I know you're busy to listen to this call and all of your great questions, and I'm sorry if I wasn't able to get to all of you during this call, but I do want to say, and this is what we did in the previous telephone town hall, we did reach out to all of the individuals that left a message. So if you do leave that message, like Ian mentioned, we will get in contact with you. You can leave a voicemail with your question and your contact information, and we will get back to you with an answer. Also, I just wanted to say, again, just to reemphasize that our city is moving forward. We have a strategic plan, a vision for the community. Our second library branch is opening up this December, which is just great. And we also have now re-implemented the Slurry Seal program for our roads. We've partnered with Moreno Valley College to provide college sponsorships for Moreno Valley residents to help with their tuition. And then now we have this great new Homeless to Work initiative where we're not only going to be providing employment to those in need, but also providing social services and at the same time beautifying the entrances of our community and the lots. If you would like more information about all the great things Moreno Valley is doing, make sure to visit our website at www.moval.org and sign up for our e-newsletter, Moreno Valley at Work, and you get to hear about all the great things that are happening in the community. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for participating, and may you all have a great night. Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you.